everyone, happy Fitness Friday. Ms.Adrianna Rivera here. I'm the Chief Development Officer for Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeast Virginia. So my everyday job with our great organization is that I get to go out into the community and share what we do and raise money so that we can continue to run our awesome programs every day. But a little side note is I am a classically trained ballet dancer and I've been dancing for over 30 years. So I wanted to share my passion with you today with our virtual programming. So raise your hand. I know I can't see you, but I still want you to. Raise your hand if you know anything about ballet or if you've done ballet before. Okay. Well, for those of you who have and those of you who haven't, this is a perfect time to learn about ballet. One of the coolest things about ballet that I know is it has a link to Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Did you know that? Misty Copeland is a principal dancer for the American Ballet Theater, and she is the first principal African-American ballet dancer for American Ballet Theater, and she started ballet at, you guessed it, the Boys and Girls Clubs. So we have such a cool link with this incredible ballet dancer. So I want to share with you how this is still a great part of what Boys and Girls Clubs does. So who's ready to get started? Okay, all you need, we're going to keep it simple, is a chair, okay? And that's it, and a nice floor. You can kind of do it anywhere in your house that you need to. Just make sure you have a little bit of open space. So what we're going to start with that I want to go over is in ballet, there are about 5 positions of the feet that you use. The first one is first position. So if you look at my feet, that's what it looks like. It pretty much looks like a V. Pretty easy, right? Your heels are touching and your feet are in a V. Second position is if you just open your foot a little bit wider, okay? Third position, which is kind of a weird position, but we really don't use it that much, but I don't know, it's still a position that we have to know, is called third position. And that is when you take your heel and you put it in the arch of your other foot, like so. Third position. Fourth position is just third position, but open. So kind of like how second position was the open of the first position, fourth position is the open of the third position. The last position is kind of a little twister, and it's called fifth position. And that's just when you have your front heel touching your back toe and your front toe touching your back heel. Here are all 5 of the positions. First position, second position, third position, fourth position, and fifth position. Today, to make things easy, we're just going to use first position and second position. So typically when you do a ballet class, they're about 60 to 90 minutes. We're not doing that today. Don't worry, this is just going to be a quick introductory class. So when you start ballet class, you usually start with the bar. And that's where you get to get your muscles all warm and you warm up so you can do the really fun jumps and things like that later on in the class. So one of the first things that you usually do is your pliés, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start in first position. Remember, the heels are touching, we're in a V. And a plié is simply bending your knees and straightening, okay? You're creating a diamond shape. Now, for this, we're going to go ahead and keep our arm in what's known as second position. So you're going to keep your arm out like this and your other arm on the bar, okay? And you're just going to go and bend your knees and straighten your knees and bend your knees and straighten them. There you go. You just did a plié. That's your first ballet move. Way to go, guys. All right, so the next thing that you usually do is you go into your tendus, which is just pointing your toe and closing. So again, we're working in first position, and your arm is in second position, and you're going to go forward, point your toe, and close. And then you're going to go side, point your toe, and close. There you go. You just did a tendu. So let's reiterate. We started with pliés, and then we went to a tendu front, close, and a tendu side and close. The next thing that you can do is take a tendu, turn it into a dégagé by just lifting it off the ground. That's it, you just did a dégagé. Let's try one front and to the side. Awesome, you guys are doing great. So the next step that I want to teach you is called a rond de jambe. That means around the leg. A lot of these are French terms, okay? So a rond de jambe is when you do a tendu front, and then you just bring it around to the side, bring it around to the back, and close. Now, one of the cool things about ballet is you can just combine all these steps. So let's try it. Let's start with doing our arm in second position, our feet in first position, holding onto the bar. And let's start with a plie and open and plie and close. And we're gonna tendu to the front. We're gonna rond de jambe all the way around and close. You guys just did a whole combination. Way to go. So let's see, what else do we do? Usually we have a couple more steps, and bar usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour, but we're speeding up the process a little bit today. So usually when you finish out bar, you get to do big kicks. They're called grand battements, okay? And that really gets your legs going so you can do some big jumps and some really fun things in the center. So how do you do a grand battement? Well, it's similar to when you were doing a tendu. You just kick your leg and close. You can even do it to the side. Kick your leg and close. And there you have it. You basically just did your bar. So what do you do after bar? That's when you go into your stretches. And one of my favorite stretches to do is you sit on the ground, like so. Might take me a couple minutes to get back up. And you put your feet together like this, and this is called the butterfly position. And you just sit here, and you can do this while you're watching TV, while you're doing your homework. You can take your nose and try and touch your toes. I haven't warmed up and done a full ballet class, so I can't really touch my nose to my toes today. But that's okay, because the more you do it, the more your legs stretch out. Another one that you could do is if you put your legs forward and you reach really, really high up and you try and touch your toes. That's another good one too. And you can try pointing your toes and flexing your toes and pointing and flexing. You can spend this time just stretching because it's good for your body and it's going to help you with your ballet classes too. So the next part of class is we get to go into the center. And this is where you do things like small jumps, which are known as petite allegro. You can also do some adagio, which is some slow movements. So let's move our bar to the side and let's try a couple things. So what we're gonna do is called a sauté. So we're gonna take what we learned during our bar and we're gonna bring it to the center. And a sauté is just a jump. And it's kind of like a rocket ship jump, right? So if you put your hands on your hips, you put your feet in first position in your little V's, and then you plie and jump, plie and straight. Woo, I was a little bit off balance there. Let's try it one more time. So you're gonna bend your knees and you're going to jump, plie and straight. It's really important when you do jumps that when you land in a plie, so you don't hurt your knees. That's an ouch. All right, so what else do we want to do? Let's finish up our class with learning a grand jeté. That just is a big jump, a big split in the air, right? So what we do is we go across the corner. You don't have to have a ton of space, but enough that you can do a pretty big jump. All right, so we are going to go ahead and do a grand jeté, which is a big jump across the floor. This is typically how you end class. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our hands in what's called first position, and our foot is pointed behind us, our right foot, and we're going to do what's called a chassé, okay? You're gonna step with your left foot, and then you're going to do a big jump across the floor, okay? Let's try it in real time this time. So, we are gonna go. And chasse, step, grand jeté across the floor. Did you guys have fun doing that? Now, the last thing that you do in a dance class is you do what's called a reverence, and that is to thank your dance teacher for teaching you and for your dance teacher to thank you for taking class and being present. So, pretty easy. We're just gonna have our arms down and we're going to tendu, plie, tendu, close, and do a curtsy. And then we're gonna try one more time. So our arms are here, and we're gonna do tendu, plie, close, curtsy. And thank you. I really hope that you guys got to see how much fun ballet really, really is. It's a great exercise, great workout, wonderful chance for you to kind of just dance and have a good time. And one of the fun parts about it is, usually when you do ballet and you start, you have what's called these flat shoes, okay? And that's what you use to warm up and things like that. As you get older and more experienced in ballet, you then get to use point shoes, which means you get to dance on your tippy toes, but you have to have these special shoes to do that. Otherwise, it's not safe. And you have to do years of training to be able to get to that point, but it's so much fun. So, again, I just want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful time. I know that I did, and I got to share this great experience with you. And again, let us know if you want to learn more. Otherwise, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you later.